Hi there, this is a tutorial about the loosening exercises. I was asked about loosening exercises, so thought I make a separate video on this for you to join in with. So just sink your hips, feel the ground under your feet and lengthen up through the crown of the head, so through that buckway point. And then you're softly gazing forwards, you're listening behind and listening above as you sink your hips and sink your shoulders. So having a good alignment and paying attention to your initial postural setup is a good way into understanding and doing your loosening exercises well. So you want to make sure you've got a good contact with the ground through the feet, you're sinking your hips, you're nice and soft in the knees, you're lengthening through the head and your shoulders are sinking down. And then you're also nicely relaxed around the jaw, your chin, you're imagining you're holding, if I just show you that from the side, you're imagining you're holding or resting your chin on a small ball that's floating on water. So the top of the head floats up, you're stretching in the neck and it's almost like you're slightly gazing downwards and at a very far distance with the eyes. So you're looking forward with the eyes and you're listening behind and above with your ears. You're sensing your environment. So you also want to sense the feeling of contact with the clothing you've got on. And then you're aware of your breathing, so just notice the breath as it goes in, notice the breath as it goes out. So we're going to go through the loosening exercises that I can remember, maybe with a bit of explanation, and just try them out for ourselves. So this is the first one I ever learnt. So what I'm doing is I'm turning so that my torso faces each corner. And while I'm doing that, my feet, what I've done is I'm gently drawing in the toes of my feet so that I activate the arches of the foot. And gently breathing in and breathing out. And just tall through the spine, so I'm lengthening through my spine. I've got this soft springy feeling in my legs. And I've got a slight bend in my knee. Also, as I'm doing this movement, just let me move so you can see it from a different view. So when I'm changing the angle of view, I'm also checking my Wu Chi posture. So each and every time, I'm not just going straight in to a movement, I'm checking that I'm correctly aligned. So if I just roll up my trouser legs, short legs, what you want the knees in line with the toes, and also the toes are drawn in a little, which activate the arches of the foot. And the arms are very relaxed. The arms are being moved. I'm not moving my arms. I'm allowing my arms to be moved by the momentum generated through my feet and the turning of my waist. So that's what it looks like from the side. So I'm also doing the soft focused gaze, listening behind and listening above. So that's the, and as I'm doing this, notice that my knees slightly travel forwards and back because my hips are moving. So the hip moves, hip, knee, shoulder, arm, or foot, knee, hip, shoulder, arm. There we go. arm's the last bit, really. The other thing you really want to let go in that you got your shoulder is like a ball and socket joint. So you want to let go and just allow that movement. So allow that natural movement in the arms. And we're sinking down. So yeah, a little bit more about this posture. The intention behind the posture is if you've got a high stool or a high chair that you're just about to sit down. It's at that point where you've just made that decision, right, I'm going to sit down. And that's the kind of feeling that you want to generate. So I'm just about to sit down. Okay, and then we're doing this. And we're breathing, very good. So you want to breathe in, breathe out. Be aware of what you are sensing. So you can do this for hours if you want. I'll just put me short legs back down again. And then we've also got, hang on, that's a bit rubbish. Just let's get into transferring our weight. So think of a glass of water, or 2 glasses of water. One's got loads of water in, one hasn't, and you pour the water into one glass, then that one's empty and that one's full, and then you pour the water into the other glass, that one's full and that one's empty. So we're filling and emptying our leg. So maybe go to about 70-30, possibly even 80-20. But if you notice, you want your hips level, you want your shoulders level, and you're still lengthening up and down through the spine. And I'm still drawing in my toes. Nice and relaxed, very good. So just gently breathe in and out. Relax around the jaw. Softly gaze forward, listen behind. So we're feeling this, and you also want to make sure your hip is nicely lined up between the knee and the shoulder. So it can be quite tempting to stick the hip out, so resist that temptation and make a new tempting movement of having your hip lined up correctly. That's much better. So you want to feel that you're nicely lined up. Okay, so the other thing I do in my classes is I talk about the inside and the outside turn. It's the best way I can of describing it. So in the inside turn, I'm turning towards the leg that I'm travelling to. So I'm following the weight. I'm following the weight. Breathing in and out. And again, keeping your hips nicely lined up between the shoulders and the knees and the feet. Lengthening through the spine, making sure your chin isn't sticking too far out and isn't pulled too far back in. Just gently resting on that imaginary ball. Turning the waist. So feel that waist turn. Just show you that from the rear view. Okay, so that was the inside turn. Right, now there's the outside turn. So what I'm doing is I'm turning away from the direction of travel of the weight. So I'm turning to the opposite corner and I'm looking through the opposite corner. And I'm aiming my weight to go through the same point in each foot. So I'm just allowing my weight to settle just behind the ball of each foot. Keep your breathing nice and gentle. all through the body. Okay, back to the middle. So you get your weight 50-50, check your posture. So you can use, if you've got a mirror in front of you, you can use a mirror to check the posture, or you can briefly look down and then you come back to getting your vertical alignment along the spine and getting that almost sitting down intention in your body. The arms are relaxed, so I want to relax in my shoulders, I want to relax in my elbow, my wrist and the palms of my hands. So the idea is the palms of my hands are nice and big and I'm feeling the sensation right to the ends of my fingers and thumbs. So I've got this real, it's almost like a panoramic awareness. So you've got an awareness of your surroundings, but you're also aware of what you are feeling and what you are sensing, actually almost inside your body. So we'll just go back to this one. So a couple of ways of doing this. I could keep my head still and this part is pivoting around the central column, or I can turn my head and look towards each corner. So looking towards the corners, or staying still and looking forwards. There you go. So two different ways of looking at a movement or doing a movement. So it's actually two different movements. You've got the head still version and the turning with the body version. There we go. Great. Okay, one that Mike does is one that works the qua, your inguinal groove, feeling that hip joint close and open. Feeling the hip joint close and open. So I tend to approach this with a slightly wider stance. And what I'll do is I'll show you the leg movement. So it's something we've actually done in class. In fact, I will roll this up so you can see the knees in relation to the toes. So I turn my foot in, I transfer my weight. Now it's important that your knee lines up with the toes. You want your knee in line with the toes, you want your hips sinking. And then I let go of the foot in the non-weighted leg and open that hip joint out. Then I close, transfer, sink, lengthen through the spine and open. So I'm also doing my soft focus gaze. So I'm actually following the movement of the body with my gaze. 1, 2, 3, sink, 4 and lengthen. You want to open this lower back and lengthen up. So you want good posture. 1, 2, 3, 4 and then you speed it up a bit. Again, make sure your knees are content. So you want content knees by having the toes in line, the knees in line with the toes. And then you just let the arms swing round. They go a little bit quicker, but you want to make sure that you are keeping your knees comfortable and protected by having correct alignment. It can be quite tempting to go out of line with this one, which is why I tend to teach it in my longer classes and my forms classes, the Tai Chi Chuan classes. And we're all breathing, very good. So you just get the arms and really floppify them. You want really relaxed arms. It's very similar to when you're punching. You want really relaxed arms and good body mechanics, and that makes your punch stronger. You know, obviously your press ups, your conditioning, using your punch bags and stuff. Yeah, of course that helps. But body mechanics, good body mechanics, Okay, and then what happens, you just raise your arms up. So you want to feel that open feeling in the chest, and that one arm is going in one direction, the other arm's going the other. So you get this open feeling. I'll just show you that from the back. Just let me set myself up first and get a little further away from the window. So good alignment and the alignment between your knees and your toes. And stop for a moment. So by really paying attention to the mechanics and being aware of having the correct mechanics and how that feels, using your own sensory systems to monitor, is quite important. You wanna make sure you're fully aware of what's going on. So it's got similarities to those of you that learn about meditational practices and meditation, where you might go and lose your concentration or go away with the fairies, or start thinking about your dinner, or have you done the washing, or blah blah, and then you think, hang on a minute, I'm supposed to be meditating, right? And you want to come back to your correct alignment as much as you possibly can. Preferably not leave it at all, because then you start noticing things that are happening. You're like, it's like if you're listening to a familiar piece of music. Once you really get into it, you start noticing different things each time. It's the same kind of thing. So those are the main ones that I've learned with Mike for at the beginning. I also train with other teachers, so I'm gonna talk about some of the loosening exercises I've learnt of them, as well as off Mike to Brett. So this is one I learnt from Andrew Heckert in Philadelphia, and you first start by getting into your natural bounce. So I'm imagining that my legs and my spine and my arms are like springs. So I'll leave my knees showing, just so you can see that the knees are in line with the toes. So I'm lengthening and okay. Actually, let's cover them up again, and then what I'll do is you just start like this. So you really want the arms very floppy-fied. Well, Andrew Heckert says limpified. Your arms want to be in a constant process of limpification. There we are. And you want to feel right to the ends of the fingers. So just let me stop for a sec and explain. So I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the air particles going past my fingers, and I'm feeling that sensation. The other thing is, you want to really relax the arms. So let's just do one arm at a time. So you can place one of your hands on your lower dantian, and when you do the one-armed version, there's a slight turn to the waist and a slight turn towards that corner. Now it's really just, it's like a long length of rope with a knot on the end, or an elf hat. You see the elf hats with a bobble on. Imagine that waving around. And we're breathing. And also pay attention to the sensation of feeling in your elbow joint and your wrist joint. Now, so we're not left out, always do both sides. But before we move, we check our vertical alignment, and also check the vertical alignment, check the contact with the ground, check that you're almost sitting. So I'm just about to sit down. Here we go. Fab. Oh. So this is exercise what I learnt off Andrew Heckert version 1. So again, we've done the elbow, we've done the wrist. Now look at the shoulder. Now sense your shoulder. So remember, it's a ball and socket joint, and this is one of the many movements it can do. Really, really useful joint, that shoulder. It's great. Okay, and now we're going to go back to the double version. Now, when you're doing the double version, there isn't a turn because it cancels itself out. So we just... and we've also got this little... like you're on a trampoline. And then notice the feeling between here and here, here and here. If that wasn't too exciting enough, you know, it's already quite exciting, this movement. Let go in your lower back, lengthen through the spine. Sink and feel your natural springs. Gently draw the toes in. Relax around your jaw. Very good. Okay, now you're going to turn the palms up so that you're twizzling around that elbow joint and feeling the arms almost move away from each other. So if you think about your directions, one arm's going that way, the other arm's going that way, and you're feeling this nice open feeling through your chest. Opening the hands, so this nice open feeling in my hands, lengthening through the spine. Okay, the next three exercises I learnt from Master Chung, who teaches in Essex. And I found them very useful. Okay, so I'll just show you the first one I learnt from him. So that's what it looks like. Let's break it down, yeah? So I'm going to break it down by starting from the bottom and working my way up to the arms. So remember a few minutes ago we were looking at the inside and the outside turn. So this is based on the outside turn. So what I do is I transfer my weight, I turn, come back to the middle, I unwind, come back to the middle, transfer the weight and turn. Now when you're doing this, when I did this with Master Chung, he would say you have 90% and 10%. So really you could even lift that foot off the floor. So it's almost like a complete transfer of the weight. So you might want to try that out, 80-20, 90-10. Let's give that a bash. So this is happening. So I've got hardly anything there. And I'm practicing doing my gaze. I'm listening behind and above. I'm lengthening. I've got good posture and I'm correctly lined up. And then what's happening with the arms, I'll just do the arms separate. So you have this bit in the middle and then they fall down and then the arm hits the side and naturally comes up, and then the arm hits the side and naturally, well, not quite as naturally as the front arm actually. I've not been doing this movement 35 years yet, so it's not fully natural yet, but this kind of flips round the back after hitting the side. So like that, and you want very relaxed arms. Let's have a look from the side view. So I'll set myself up first, and because you've gone high, you just let it go. you've gone high, you let the arm go and let them fall across the body. And when I learnt this with Master Chung, his arms were so relaxed they'd actually go quite high up. I don't know how he did it, but it looked great what he did. So this is just a crude approximation, but it'll do, you know. So what we do then is we combine the arm movements with the movement of the weight. So remember, you're going 90-10 for this one. So you go up, and then you transfer your weight to 90-10 and you just let the arms fall down. So it's the arms rise because of the momentum generated by the waist turn and the springs in the legs. The other thing that I'm doing is when I'm going into that leg, I'm slightly rotating it outwards in my hip joint so that the knee stays in line with the toes. So I'm thinking about the mechanics of how I'm moving as well as the intention. So nice and relaxed. I will show you that from the diagonal view. Here's a diagonal view. So we're looking, we're setting up, and we're just doing this. So if you wanted, you could actually do it standing on one leg. If you wanted to do it standing on one leg, you'd be able to. I have done this standing on one leg. It's quite interesting. All the loosening exercises. So if you want to stand on one leg, you need even hips. You want your hips sinking and level hips and level shoulders. Like that. And from the side, okay, so that's number one. Number two, you just let the arms drop, and then you have that, you just tune into the natural springs in your legs. So we'll just do a few of those. And you also want to really let go in your lower back. So you want to lengthen through the spine as you're doing this. Get your posture correct. And soften the palms of the hands. So you're keeping your weight 50-50, and I'm also aiming my weight through the same point in each of my feet. Relaxing the wrists, relaxing the hands, the elbows, the shoulders, lengthen through your spine. Okay, and then we'll come to a natural stop. Check your posture again, and we'll do the third exercise I learned from Master Chung. So you want to, the impetus starts in the foot, it turns through the waist, and it ends up in your arms. And what I'm doing is I'm focusing on the arm as it goes back, and there's also I'm tuning into the natural elasticity in the body. If I just show you that from the diagonal view. So you want to really feel the arms move, but you're allowing the arms are allowing themselves to be moved by the momentum of your body movements. And think more about the arms as it goes back, and then every now and then you can do a big movement, so you can kind of whoop that way, or you can go backwards a bit more, you know, if you want. Or you might want to try a smaller movement. And just do this very small, fast movement, or a big movement with more of a kind of bounce in the middle. Or you can even do a big movement with the arms like that. So there's lots of different ways. It's a bit like having a volume knob, or in music. Sometimes you play pianissimo, sometimes you play forte, you know, mezzo forte, all the different range. And keep breathing. Okay, now sink the hips, and this is one I learnt from Carell, and it's called wobbling. So you imagine you've got a pot of paint, and you've just dipped your hand in one pot of paint, and then you've dipped your hand in the other pot of paint, and you've got a big sheet of paper either side of your foot, and what you're doing is you're making a beautiful, perfect picture of a circle out of the blobs of paint dropping off your fingers. Any colour you like. So this one's a really nice exercise, and you're feeling the natural movement in your shoulder joints. So gently breathe in and breathe out. Sink the hips, sink the shoulders, and feel that circle. Eventually, apparently, the circle in each hand becomes the same. And again, you can work on your volumes. You can do a big slow one. You can do a fast small one. So you kind of almost like you're buzzing. So this one's really nice to do. When I did it with Carell, when I first did it with Carell, I think we did it for about an hour and a quarter. And it felt wonderful when I'd stopped. The other thing I noticed was what my legs ached, but my stomach felt really nice and toned. So I reckon if you practice this every day for hours on end, you might even build up a nice six-pack or something, you know. Let's find out. So hang on, let me just bring in my feet a bit. So sink down, again you're opening in that lower back. Just let me show you that from the back view and also from the side view. So okay, and this is from the side. I don't know if this is my good side or not, but so I'm just about to sit down. I'm lengthening and I'm doing this. I'm breathing and it's all lovely. Okay, shake it out. So those are the main ones that I know of in this posture. There's also some other ones that I've learned with Mike to Brett in bow and arrow stance, and I'll show those more along the diagonal view. But so you turn your foot out, heel, toe, and you want to be square on to the opposite wall, and your knees are in line with the toes. So yeah, let's go through these, but I'll do these along the diagonal view. I believe it's easier to see. So again, take a bit of time to get yourself nicely set up, and then what we'll do as a bit of fun at the end of this, we'll explore the loosening exercises by trying some punches out and seeing if it's helped our punching. Great. So what we're going to do a double turn per, actually what we'll do the weight shift first. I'm getting ahead of myself because I've been thinking about punching, and punching makes me feel happy, so yeah. Oh, and we're breathing, very good. So again, knees in line with the toes. Knees in line with the toes, very nice, look at that, very good. Yeah, you don't want to be out of line, no. You want to be in line. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to turn twice with each weight shift and allow our arms to move. So the very first loosening exercise we did, we're going to now do, but moving forwards and back. You can also do them in horse stance, but we won't, otherwise the video will be even longer. So we go 1, 2, 1, 2, there we go, like that. And I'm looking forward and listening behind. So again, with the eyes, you want to keep your gaze steady and focused, gently focused, like the eyes of a sleepy tiger. And we're breathing. So again, you're aiming your weight to go through the same point in each foot with this, with how you're moving. You can also go in the other direction if you want. And then what we'll do is we'll go forwards and back. So I believe Mike learned this off Linda Broder. I'll have to ask him. I think so. The poet and Tai Chi instructor and poetry, amazing poetry lady she was. In fact, her Tai Chi looked like poetry when she did the Chen Mang Ching short form. Really, really lovely to watch. Yeah, very good teacher, very creative lady. Lengthen through the spine, sink the hips. So that's another one you can do. And we'll just do that on the other side so that we're not wonky. So good alignment, get your vertical alignment, get your contact with the ground. So contact with the ground is something very important for punching. Heel toe. And then I'm just lining myself up, if this was a square on, hips level, shoulders level, knees in line with the toes. Looking forward, listening behind and above. We'll just tune into the legs, so we're just gently waking up the leg. When I sink forwards, my knee doesn't go too far. It probably stops about halfway, probably about the balance point, the bubbling well point in the foot. So I'm aiming for it to land on my Yunchuan point in the foot. And also the same with this knee. I don't want it too far forward, because then that's putting too much strain on the knee joint. Again, you want to have happy, content knee joints when you're moving in your Tai Chi. Okay, then we'll do the 2 turns. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we're breathing. And you can also go, you can try the other direction. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So there's 2 ways of doing this. Okay, and then forwards and back with the, so this movement It's a bit like when you're doing that pulling movement. From each one, poof, you're just pulling down. You can kind of explore the movement a bit bigger by doing this one. There we go. Right, the other thing you can do, just to shake out a bit, Mo, is you can do a stepping version of that forwards and back thing. I'll just show you the foot movement. So, bring your right foot in and your right foot out. Oh, done. So it goes in and out, in and out. And we're breathing. So it's like, this is when you're exploring your moving route, which we'll be exploring in a bit when we do our, I think that's all the loosening I can think of. Oh, just for completion's sake, we'll do a few standing on one leg for fun. My fun. Because I did warn everybody that I was going to do a loosening exercise video for people. So you can even do 2 steps if you want. Dum, dum. If you want. Okay. So just to go back to that one, if you get yourself into a cat stance, keep your hips and shoulders level. You can do it like that. Hang on, let me go a bit further back so you can see my feet. Or you can whoop, do it standing on one leg. Hey, do that the other side. And standing on one leg. Oops. So hips level. That's better. And then you can do all the loosening exercises in all standing on one leg. So that is your mission should you accept it. Okay, I'm going to change the music slightly and then we're going to do some punching. Hang on a minute. Not that much more exciting actually. So actually I'll bring the lid down a bit. Okay, so we're going to explore our waist moving and see how it's gone with a basic jab cross hook and then cross uppercut. What we're going to do? Uppercut cross hook. Yeah, we're going to go jab cross hook for a bit and then we're going to go uppercut cross hook, which I've stolen from Ollie Batts and company from the Cambridge Academy of Martial Arts. Thank you very much, people. They're great. They're really, really good actually. Highly recommended. Their online classes are great and yeah, they're good fun to play with. Even if you're a chilled out Tai Chi person, you know, it's all good. So we're going to jab, cross, hook, move around, jab, cross, hook, and then you try and do it when you're doing your loosening and your body mechanics. You're try and think of them more as just like one continuous punch than 3 separate punches, because they're all connected anyway. They're like natural manifestations from the thing that's come before. There we go. So I'm left-handed, so you can go into a right-handed. So if you're right-handed, you'd have your right foot forward. but I'm not that great on my right hand, so I'm demonstrating with my stronger side. So again, you've got your sleepy tiger eyes, you're moving around and you're turning your waist. So we're exploring our waist turning exercises really. And you know, ready, go, jab, cross, hook, moving around, moving around. So practical applications for loosening exercises. So the other thing is you want to feel that you're nice and connected through the body, so that the whole body is moving together in an engaged manner and you're connected. Okay, uppercut, cross, hook. So I'll do it in slow-mo. Uppercut, cross, hook. So cross, so I'm sinking down, cross, hook. And it's all... Okay, right, we'll just do a few uppercut, cross, hooks, and then we'll go back to soft stuff. Yeah. Yeah, my cross needs improvement, doesn't it? Never mind. That's a bit better. So you want to sink and get your body involved in the hit, and again, loosening exercises. Really good for punching. Fab. Actually, punching's really good for punching. Actually, yeah, do lots of punching. Very good. Okay, uppercut, cross, hook. So it's more like boom, 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 as opposed to So if this was music, yeah. So using your body, use your body. Right, that'll do. Whew. Oh, what a relief. Okay, let's go back to the exercise we did right at the beginning. So this is one I learnt from Mike. So we're just doing this. Oh. Who'd have thought? So, adventures with loosening. So yeah, you should be feeling a little bit more connected now. So as a special treat, let's do a bit of Part the Wild Horse's Mane. Just as we're feeling nice and relaxed. So yeah, we're going to do this one, then we're going to do it as a walking exercise, and then that'll be the end of the tutorial, and then we can all go and have a nice cup of tea. Rule 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Marvellous. There we go. Isn't that... Just imagine you are the physical embodiment of the most beautiful poetry ever wrote. Ever written. Oh dear. So yeah, most of the music was mine, apart from one. I've done field recording of a bird song, apart from the Nightingale. That was my friend Nick Penny, and the piano player on it was Peter Shearer. Thanks, Peter Shearer. You're lovely. And yeah. So again, I'm feeling the feet. I'm using my body together. Okay, and then a few rounds of Part the Wild Horse's Mane. So we're starting in our cat stance. So I have actually seen cats do that, where they have a paw just slightly touching the ground, although they'll have one raised in the air. So we're using the whole body and nice and upright. And you're using your sleepy tiger eyes with soft focused gaze. But I've got a wall in the way, I'll just turn round. Yeah, when I make my millions, I'll be able to buy like a studio or something that I can, with a bigger room, so I can teach my Tai Chi classes from somewhere bigger. You know, when I yeah. There we go. Let's do that one more line, and then we better stop because I want a cup of tea and some cake. Fabulous. It's all about balance, having a good sense of balance. So there we go. Okay, so we'll do a few more of these. Yeah, loosening and its potential end products. There you go. That is what I shall title the video. So it's called stroking the back. So as you scan down the front of your body, imagine your back muscles are being softly but firmly stroked. Breathe in. Embrace the tiger. Return to the mountain. So this is one I learnt off mic. Sink down. So again, you're thinking about your posture. Okay, and then a little bit of Cheng Bao, just to finish off. And then rub the hands together and polishing the face. I hope you have all hands gelled or washed your hands before you do this. And rub the hands together again and give your lower back a rub. Oh, fab. Okay, and then just stand for a moment. Feel the ground under your feet. You've got good posture. Feeling like you've got lots of room and all the time in the world and all the space in the world. Feeling content and calm. But as if you're very clear about stuff. You're tuning into that quiet place of stillness. Breathing in and out. bag. Fish the right hand, left hand over the top, feet together and bow. Great, thank you. Thank you for your attention, everybody. I hope that was useful for you. So we did lots and lots and lots of loosening exercises. We explored how we can use the techniques and skills we learned from the loosening exercises by whacking people. Great. And also by looking at part of the wild horse's mane. Actually, I don't advocate whacking people. You can get your friends to hold up pads when we're allowed within 2 meters of each other, or you can hit a punch bag, and it's quite good because then you get the kinesthetic feedback, and it's quite useful. But hopefully that was useful, and yeah, great.